Let's bring in a member of that committee, Democratic Congressman from California, Khanna. Thank you for hanging with us, Congressman. We appreciate you staying with us as we saw that videotape that was coming in from South Carolina. The chairman of the committee, Mike Gallagher, last night gave an assessment of the future of the relations between the U.S. and China. Here's what he said. Listen here.
It's not a polite tennis match. This is an existential struggle over what life will look like in the 21st century. And the most fundamental freedoms are at stake.
Do you agree with that? And if so, what do we do about it?
He's right that the China challenge is a generational challenge. I think we need to do two things. One, I was just in Taiwan. We need to make sure that Taiwan has defense capability. All the parties in Taiwan want that. We need to make sure we're giving them the $18 billion of arms so that they can actually help deter China. And second, we need to make sure our manufacturing is coming back here and we're reducing the trade deficits with China.
Of course, one of the big items yesterday was this assessment from the Energy Department's Z Division at the National Laboratories that the Wuhan lab is the likely culprit for the origins of COVID. It was echoed by the FBI Director Chris Wray last night on Special Report. Here's what he said.
The FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan.
Anybody who said that or said what the Energy Department said 3 years ago would have been on the receiving end of a flamethrower of criticism, ridicule, censorship, even outright cancellation. What do you, Congressman, say to the media, the social media, the politicians, and the public health experts who anybody who had said anything like that would have been dismissed as a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist?
John, they were wrong. This is why I'm a strong believer in the First Amendment. You can't censor legitimate viewpoints, even if you may not disagree with them, even if they may be a very minority viewpoint. Our country thrives on robust speech, and while we don't know for sure what happened, certainly now it's plausible, given that the FBI and the Department of Energy have both said so, that it was caused by an accidental lab leak. Let me say one more point here, John. I am for engagement with China with deterrence, but it makes it very hard for someone like me to be advocating engagement on issues like public health when they're being totally non-transparent. They have not given any honest information about what happened. They lied with the World Health Organization, and you would think on a matter of public health they'd be more honest with the world.
All right. Well, I mean, you can expect that China is going to live up to your expectations, but you'll probably get disappointed every time. So in the absence of China saying, oh, we're going to be transparent, what should the Biden administration do about this? I mean, you've now got two federal agencies, the Department of Energy and the FBI, saying likely this came out of the Wuhan laboratory. It has killed 1.3 million Americans. Shouldn't Biden be doing something about it?
Well, I think first we need to have a directive to come to some consensus, because there are other agencies that still are questioning that. And so I would make sure within the next few months that we try to get to a consensus opinion. And then I would ask the agencies for recommendations about what action needs to be taken to make sure these kind of leaks don't happen again, and make sure that there are consequences if there are leaks.
Congressman, good to catch up with you again. Thanks for hanging with us through the breaking news. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John.